Hello, viewers. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today, wherever you are in the world when you're watching this? Thank you for tuning in. I want to move through some of those questions that are in the back of our minds, those nagging questions that keep us up at night. Will Trump start a war with China? Will he interfere in the election? Will he delay the result? Will he refuse to leave the White House? And finally, is Trump going to be president by the time we get to January 2021? So let's get started. Before I do, again, I'm sitting in those beautiful violet, purples, colours. I feel that that's the energy that at least I need to be in at the moment. Of course, that's all energy associated with the higher self, with the spiritual self. So I'm happy to sit in those colours. I'll be using my Cosmic Tarot deck today, but before we start, I'll draw from an energy oracle just to read the energies, just to take a look at what's going on. Thank you for all your beautiful comments about aggressive social media troll types, the Trumpsters, the bots. Thank you for your support. I just kind of had to get it out, and I got it out, and I felt lighter as a result. And here I am ready to move on. So there's a lesson in that. If something is upsetting you, find somebody to talk to. Self-expression is so important, just to shift frustration, shift stagnant type of energy, and then move forward. So I've had a shift. Thank you very much for all your support. All right, now let's draw from the Earth Magic Oracle to begin with. The thing I like about Oracle decks is they do tap into the energies rather than straight out predictive cards. They do tap in to the energies of the time. And I talked about in my last reading having that aerial, trying to get to that aerial view of things, because if you're down on the ground, you're going to miss something. When you're taking that big picture, expansive look at things, like a hawk or an eagle, or any bird really, you're going to be looking down and you're going to see the essence of something. So it's good to kick yourself up and have a look at that higher view of things. And often we can see an energetic pattern which can be very enlightening and can shift us out of somewhere where we're stuck. All right, so what are the current energies for us today, please, Spirit, for myself and my viewers? I've asked for protection for myself. I'm going to ask for protection, white light, for those that are watching, and that this message finds those that need to hear what is coming through. So what is the energy that we need to consider at the moment? What is the energy that we need to consider at the moment, Spirit? Earth Magic, fairies. That's beautiful. I'm so pleased I got that. Light beings. It's been said that fairy folklore is all about the energy of something. It's all, when we tap into happiness and joy, we're tapping into those elemental energies that fairies are a part of. So Earth Magic, this is a message that I've been talking about now for a couple of days, so I guess it's important, and that is noticing what you normally would miss, looking to the true essence of things. Earth Magic. Just when we think all is lost, I feel that the earth, as much as she will, I guess, answer us back when we're not doing the right thing by her, at the same time, she's also protective and loving. If we look hard enough, we will see signs of that. Celebration and dance. That's Spirit's almost saying your earlier reading on what could be done now to lift the vibration, Vision Quest, was on point. Nurturing is Gaia, nurturing Mother Earth. So the other day I was going to talk about talk about the energies, and I went straight to Gaia because I feel that Mother Earth is giving us a message at the moment, and that can be just to connect in more with Mother Earth, and not only read her what she wants to bring us, look at her, the messages that she's bringing forward, but also look for her beautiful nurturing ways. And we can do that when we have this expansive vision. We're not just looking at our own backyard or at our neighbour's backyard. We're actually taking that higher view, and we can see the essence of things. So that is the energy that's around at the moment. I think until we take that higher view, we'll miss what we need to know. All right. Now on to the energies that are currently surrounding the US through a very, I was going to say a despot, dictator, a would-be dictator, what do they call it? A charlatan. All right, Sideshow Don. And everything that he's trying to accomplish, the fear that he is generating. Absolute fear every day, every night, 24/7. It doesn't stop. But let's have a look at where he's at the moment. He fired his campaign manager. We might start there, Brad Pascal. I did see that about a month ago that he would be getting rid of Brad. Of course, Brad was responsible for that disastrous Tulsa rally where Trump got punked. And I don't think it's been very good for Brad since then. Let's have a look at why did Trump fire his campaign manager? Well, he demoted him. He's now still looking after digital, but he's put a more of a conservative type of Republican in charge. How conservative he was. I think Governor Christie's campaign manager. And he was number 2. So they're starting to see that just pushing forward with this Miller-Bannon type stuff is not going to cut it. But let's just have a look. Why did Trump fire Brad Pascal? Why did Trump fire Brad Pascal? Because he was playing the same old songs, because he was down in the polls, and it finally dawned upon him that if an election was held today, he wouldn't win, certainly without any type of interference. This is the 10 of Swords. This is jumping in front of Republicans as well, who are not on board with his campaign, not on board with his messages. He's trying to keep from being stabbed in the back and thrown aside. It is rumoured, I think, that he's been given to, Mitch McConnell's given him to Labor, is it the Labor Day weekend, to turn his campaign around, or else. How true that is, I don't know. But this 10 of Swords doesn't look good for Trump. The Princess of Wands, he wants to change the message here. Princess of Wands, this is all about communications. I'm feeling that he doesn't want to be portrayed as a loser. He wants to interject more strength in his campaign. Well, that would be a miracle. The Hermit card, isolated. Yeah, he may have even been told, get this Republican on board, get rid of Pascali, because I feel he's trying to gain some kind of favour with Republicans, because this is the energy that Trump is sitting in. This is a downward spiral. This is also somebody that really can't really deflect those blows that are coming at him from all sides. So I feel that the Republicans, the rank and file, I guess the upper echelons, sorry, not rank and file, but the upper echelons of the Republican Party have sent Trump a message: do something about your campaign or else. So that was the reason for the change. Let's have a look at whether or not he's trying to bait some kind of hostility with China. A few months ago, I saw some kind of incident in the South China Sea between either a Chinese ship and an American ship, or a submarine and a ship, involving China and the US. I felt there could have been an incident there. Let's take a look whether or not, well, let's ask the question, is Trump trying to bait China into hostility, some kind of military strike or action? Is this where he's going, start a war so that he can win an election? I still don't think he would win an election. Regardless, why is Trump going after China? That's an election strategy. Is he trying to bait China into, I am getting those ships, into some kind of action against the US? Yes, I do feel he is. Because I'm just, yeah, this is a turnaround, trying to turn something around, loss, this dark, this total and utter downfall. The Nine of Cups, this is a breakthrough. He's looking for a breakthrough in his campaign. He understands that it'll take something very, very big. The Magician, he is. He's trying to arc up hostilities between China and the US. And where does that leave Australia? This is all going to go on within our region. Our government has recently, in the middle of a pandemic and a recession, allocated an extra $2.7 billion worth of funding to the military to ramp up its military resources because we are so close to China. The Seven of Wands, self-defense, defending oneself. What he's doing is he's trying to position himself as a leader that can stop Chinese aggression with the US. It is all about headlines, though. I don't think... Now, remember, we've got isolation, but we've also got the Tower card here at the base of the pack. Remember, I'm pretty sure that Congress enacted that legislation where he can't unilaterally just go to war with China. Let's see. So he's definitely trying to arc up those hostilities. It's done to try and give himself a breakthrough in relation to his campaign. Let's see if there'll be military action. Will there be military action? Because I'm getting that with that Hermit card, I feel that Congress would stop him, would stand in front of him. And this is why, I know the Democrats didn't go through a second impeachment. But imagine if he had have been, there was certainly grounds for it with the bounty, with, the things that we've seen him do since then, almost a dereliction of duty in the middle of this pandemic, his friends and allies getting money from those stimulus packages. We've seen so much evidence of, impeachable offences, but the Democrats weren't moving on a second impeachment. They said that why bother, the Republicans would just overturn it. But an impeached president who is going through impeachment proceedings, there's just that more of an emphasis on the Republicans to do the right thing and curtail his powers. But let's have a look. Will there be military action between China and the US? Will there be military action? No, I don't think so. Will there? Although I've got somebody defending themselves. I've still got that defence, that Seven of Wands, standing one's ground. We could see an incident, but we might not see it escalate to, an outbreak of hostilities. But that's my intuitive impression. Will we see military action between US and China? So we have the Princess of Swords. So we have, this is the spy in the camp. There could be something around that. The High Priestess, secrets. Let's see, justice is overturned here, which is interesting in the reverse. It's the only card that is. I'll bring the laptop down. Will there be hostilities, an outbreak of hostilities? Justice is not being done here. Justice is subverted. Justice is turned upside down in relation to this question. There are secrets preventing some kind of truth coming out. The spy in the camp. The World card is in the past position. So again, this will draw endings and beginnings. This would draw in other players if there were to be an outbreak of hostilities. Three of Cups, okay, covering circles of support, a kind of a celebration here. But this is, to me, who's surrounding Trump. This could be the Republicans here. The Eight of Wands, things coming forward very, very quickly. This is a shift in energy, a momentum that this may accelerate. I haven't seen the Tower card here, though, yet. The Six of Cups going back to the past. That's in the here and now. And Judgment is the energy around this question, something coming to an inevitable end. Trump being judged. I don't think anyone in the world wants to see Trump go to war with China or provoke hostilities with China in order to get re-elected. There is just not the support for that. No matter what. The Two of Cups in the here and in the hopes and fears, a commitment or a contract. What I'm seeing is traitorous Trump. I'm seeing that in the reading here, that this commitment pact with somebody, he's still trying to destabilize as he can. The Five of Wands, this is all about partisanship. So these people are, I guess, in a tug of war, but I haven't seen anything that is out and out hostilities. This is more posturing. Here we are. We've got the King of Pentacles. Again, everything Trump does is to protect his own empire, and the Princess of Wands to gain some headlines. So this is more, I don't see an utter outbreak in hostilities. The Nine of Wands, we do have the battle weariness of it all and putting up boundaries with this Ace of Cups. The energy is, people are deeply disenchanted beyond that. But we do have a karmic card here, the Wheel of Fortune, and we do have the Hanged Man. So something being stopped. So what this is showing is this rhetoric is part of his electioneering strategy. I don't see, this is all about the King of Pentacles. He was always the King of Pentacles. He's not the president in this reading, which tells me that this is a grab for headlines. We may see with this Eight of Wands something occurring, but it will be of a reasonably, when I say minor nature, no skirmish between the US ships or over territory or a breakdown in diplomatic ties between the US and China. None of that is welcomed nor wanted. But we could see something occur which would not accelerate. So I don't see the US going to war with China, but perhaps I see an acceleration of tensions in some way. I feel that Trump would be stopped from doing anything as foolhardy as that. Because I see, as I said, the King of Pentacles, not the Emperor. Trump, the businessman. All right, let's have a look at whether or not is he planning to hijack the election in some way, stay in the White House, claim that the election was fraudulent? Let's just go with that question. Is Trump trying to claim, or will he try and claim the election was fraudulent? Will Trump try and claim the election was fraudulent? Will he try and claim? So what I'm getting is the image of the House of Straw, which of course the wolf came and blew down. What is that? Weakening the integrity of the election. Again, this is all for campaign and to create this fear. The three little piggies, I'm getting that nursery rhyme, were terribly fearful, and they had to go to finally to the brother who had the house of brick. But the first two had made their house out of straw, I think, and I forget what the second little pig did. By the time they got to the brick house, the wolf couldn't huff and puff. So I feel that by the time we get to that election, Trump's sort of like hot air. It's just not going to. We understand if all goes well, voter turnout is going to be astronomical. I've got disappointment that just flew out of the card, so I'm not feeling that he's going to be successful if he is going to try this. Okay, so it's, he's probably got plan A, B, C, D up his sleeve, but I just don't get the impression that it's going to work. Okay, so whatever he's thinking about may be to create fear in people. Okay, because his ego is continually wounded. Is Trump going to claim the election was fraudulent? Okay, no, that's not the right question, because he will. Even once he's out of office, he's going to say that Mueller investigation cost me 3 years, and he'll do that to cover up the loss and salve his own ego. So, will Trump receive foreign, and even that? Okay, so will Trump receive foreign help in the election? He probably already is getting that. Will Trump win? Let's see. Let's go to that. Will Trump win the November election? No. Will Trump win the November election? He is the person that has the House of Straw. Can be easily blown down. Will Trump win the November election? Trump win the November election. The King of Swords, there's an investigation going on. This is logic, clarity, something around an investigation of Donald Trump there. What is challenging him? The mood in the country is, it's just overflowing emotion, people wanting that new emotional start. Let's keep going. What is it? The foundation, the Eight of Pentacles. This is pointing to his tax returns now. I know he's filed another motion to try and hold that up. I do go to legal minds, which say that any defence he puts forward is flimsy, very thin, and that's the feeling I'm getting. It won't work. The Eight of Pentacles, working on something. The Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords is a harsh truth in the past, but that's in the past, okay? What's up there, up in the crown in this reading? The Princess of Cups. She has something to tell, and she's crowning this reading. A revelation in an investigation is going to emerge. This is the woman that I keep seeing, but she just represents revelations. Before we even get to the election, there's going to be even more revelations. We do have the Star of Hope, keeping your thoughts positive, setting your intentions, and that is that voting will be in overwhelming numbers. We're hearing that voter registration is at an all-time high. Turnout, if you look at Georgia, where there was voter suppressions, more Democrats voted than the Republicans. We've got to keep our thoughts high on that blue wave. All right, at the moment we've got the Wheel of Fortune, a shift, a karmic card. So this is all playing out. The Trump, I guess, the Trump train wreck, the Trump disastrous presidency is all playing out as we speak. The environment around is strength and endurance. The hopes and fears. We've got the Moon card again. Another shadow side. It's not the energy that we like to sit in, but nevertheless, it's very revealing. This is something coming out of the water. So he's fearing that even before we get to the election, something else is going to emerge. And the Seven of Pentacles, review, going back to something that doesn't come to fruition. This is the energy he sits in. even as he, demotes slash fires his campaign manager. I do feel something else is going to occur before the election, which leaves him disappointed. This is a review and investigation, and we've got this heartbreak, this Three of Swords. No, there's loss here, and it's loss for Trump. And we've got the Devil card, the Devil energy with the Three of Swords. Let's see what else is there. The Prince of Wands. This is a movement, and a very quick movement. I still feel there's something else coming down the line before we get there. The base of the pack, we have the lies, the lying emperor. However, we have this person is not being caught up in the lies. This person is walking and navigating that landscape. She's not being locked in, and she's moving, and again, get drawn to that moon there, that full moon. We have a new moon in Cancer coming up, I think on the 21st. As I said, I'll do a separate reading for that. You could get something coming out at around that time. There is something else ready to emerge, because I do have the Eight of Cups. This is a loss, turning away from something that is no longer working for you. That's basically Trump's card. And if you look really closely, if you put blonde hair on that person, this is someone downcast and dejected. So, something else is going to occur before the election. It's like he can't take a trick. He may try, but he just doesn't seem to be able to win. And I do get this energy for Trump. Trump is the karma. Trump's past. Trump, how he's gone as far as he can go in terms of that luck that was on his side. Be interesting to look at the astrology. I might do that and see what that is telling us. But we do have a shift here, and this is the current energy that Trump is sitting in. It would take almost a miracle for him to pull it off, providing there is outstanding voter turnout. People are just wanting him gone, but there's something else ready to emerge before the election. Okay, so I don't see him winning. At this time, he is that person there, that Eight of Cups there, sitting, that's the energy he's sitting in. So he's not a winner. At this point in time, he would not win an election. Do I see him trying to create some illusion? Let's ask, will Donald Trump leave the White House, or will he claim the election was fraudulent? I don't think he can, because the numbers are going to be so overwhelming. Donald Trump, will he leave the White House? Will Donald Trump leave the White House? Will Donald Trump leave the White House after November the 3rd? Will Donald Trump leave the White House? Yeah, I still think there's something else coming out before then. Anyway. So, no, he's sitting under this very, very dark cloud. Will Donald Trump leave the White House after November the 3rd? Or will he claim the election was fraudulent? Will he claim the election was fraudulent and refuse to go? That's the question. Will Donald Trump claim the election was fraudulent and refuse to leave the White House? Will Donald Trump claim the election was fraudulent and refuse to leave the White House? So I'm seeing a lot of, justice overturned is the signifier card. It's a signifier card, it's not the outcome card, but this is where he's at right now. He just doesn't care. I read something today that he was not allowing any more DACA applications, even though the Supreme Court upheld the legitimacy of the program. He's also instructing hospitals not to send COVID data to the CDC. This is the energy that you are sitting in at the moment in the US. That's what that is signifying. What is challenging that? The Knight of Swords, okay, absolute panic. This is what's coming at Donald Trump. This fits with the Eight of Cups energy, the Seven of Pentacles energy. This is the energy he's sitting in, which is challenging that. The Nine of Swords is absolute and utter panic, anxiety and panic. I can't take any more. Clairvoyantly, when I started this reading, I am seeing a lot of women there around. So I'm feeling something else is coming out about a woman between now and November. The High Priestess, the foundation of the reading, is secrets. Is the secrets here. The High Priestess trying to keep something buried. The Fool in the past, but it's in the past. New starts, and a very tricky journey, I feel, for Donald Trump in the past. Sitting in that, with that justice, overturning justice. The Eight of Wands crowning the reading. This came up before, the energy, something coming out very, very quickly. There is something else coming out. Can you believe that? Which will further wound, and it gets him in the Achilles heel. That's what I'm feeling. Here we go. In the immediate future, we've got control, trying to control something which is getting away from him, is what I feel might be occurring. Bring the laptop down. In the here and the now, let's have a look what's there. Five of Swords. This is the abuse of power, unfortunately. It is going along with that reversed justice card. That's in the here and now, sitting above the Emperor. It's almost like he has sort of lost control. This person is not of sound mind either. Okay, so just bear that in mind. That is the energy that he is sitting in at the moment. The King of Pentacles, abuse of power, who for? For his own business, for his own enrichment. That is the only thing he cares about. That is the bottom line for Donald Trump. Okay. All right, so we have the Princess of Cups in the hopes and fears. He knows what it is that is his Achilles heel. And he's fearing that she will take her hands off that cup and reveal something. The outcome card, the Princess of Swords, is in the outcome. So we do have the spy in the camp. But this is only a princess. It's not a prince, nor it's only a page. It's not a king, nor is it a knight. The spy in the camp. News coming out that there's a spy in the camp, and we have the Hanged Man. Someone being stopped. And we have Temperance card, balance coming in by December. Not feeling that he is going to be able to be in a position by the time we get there to actually pull that one off. I feel he's very isolated at the moment with the Hermit card. I do feel the Five of Cups. I do feel this energy around him that he feels like he's got an albatross on his back. And we have the Prince of Pentacles, always worried about the news, his tax returns being known, and some of his secrets being revealed. I'll draw a clarifier on this Princess of Swords in the outcome position. Will he refuse to leave? Will he refuse to leave the White House? Claim the election is a fraud. What's he going to do? Okay. Show me this. Show me this Princess of Swords. What is this? The spy in the camp, and then clarified by the Hanged Man. The spy is stopped, and their balance is restored. That's how I read those outcome cards. Princess of Swords, clarify please. The Prince of Swords. Will Trump claim the election as fraudulent and refuse to leave the White House? Abuse of power here. A commitment or a contract and we have the Chariot, something coming forward very, very quickly. I feel that and the Eight of Cups. I feel that by the time we get there, something will become known about Donald Trump. Uh, we've got the spy in the camp. We've got the hangman, something being stopped, the spy being stopped. We could even have somebody come out and breaks some kind of news, because that's the other aspect of the Princess of Swords. But we do have an abuse of power based on a contract with someone else. But we do have something coming forward very, very quickly, and somebody walking away from something, from a losing battle, basically. So my feeling is he's just in a weakened position. I don't underestimate Donald Trump. But today, I don't feel that he will be in a position to question the election result, because I do feel there is more coming out by the time we get there. So it's almost like his power, and you think about that Ten of Swords and the Eight of Cups, and those other more Seven of Pentacles, that kind of energy that politically he's sitting in. That's where I feel the truth is, rather than putting something onto him as though he will have the power to unseat an overwhelming majority of Americans who want to see him go. He's juggling at the moment. He's walking a tightrope. Show me, can he come back? Can he make a political comeback? Can he make a political comeback? Can he make a political comeback? Four of Swords, retreat and ill health. That's the other aspect to all of this. This man is not in good health. Again, it's not a metaphor, or it's not unrealistic to say that when your power is ebbing, it often does that when you're unwell, when you're not able to fight the next fight. And if you look at the interview between Mary Trump and the ABC, his niece, she actually says, she talks about this aspect of not being well, of being overwhelmed. So my feeling is it's a long way between now and November. We do have something else coming out, something really major coming out between now and then. Donald Trump is not well. His energy levels are not high. Today he is getting whooped, and whooped badly, by not just the Democrats, but also a lot of Republicans, the Never Trumpers, the Republicans against Trump, the Lincoln Project, all those independents that we keep seeing in the polls that aren't going to vote for him again, the older generation who are threatened by CV, the pandemic, who don't approve, the majority. It's just poll after poll after poll, and he's not going to be able to claw that back. Now, some of you asked about Anthony Fauci. I can tell you when he first appeared on the scene, I did read on him. I saw a tower moment for him. I thought, and yes, there's somebody touching my hand now. I did feel that he would go through he would be maligned, he would be undermined, he would be attacked. There was this tower moment for him, but I didn't feel he would resign or leave. Now, Donald Trump can't sack Anthony Fauci because he's a civil servant. He's not under Trump's purview. Fauci is handling himself very, very well. This is water off a duck's back. This is a very experienced, wise, non-political person. Not easily drawn into those ego games either. So this is the perfect person to deflect Donald Trump's attacks. Again, Donald Trump is very weak at the moment. His power is waning. Donald Trump's power. Show me where his power is at. The Queen of Wands. Just as we saw in the midterms, and this came out the other day and I thought I should mention it and I didn't. Queen of Wands, this was my card for around the time that I did my my readings on the midterms, this was the Democratic Party surging ahead. Why? Because it was the mums and dads in the suburbs. This is what's going to cost Donald Trump. Female vote, don't want him. They don't want him back there. It's going to really cost him. And in the suburbs is where it's going to cost him, including in those red states, purple states, whatever you want to call them, in the areas that he doesn't, that he usually would get a vote. It is those suburban families that don't want him there anymore. And it is this march of the feminine energy again rising. He'll be beaten by lots of women. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I'll be back again early next week with another reading for you. So thank you again for all your support. I felt the love. So back at you, viewers, back at you. Thank you.